Hi, welcome to another edition of Just Cooking with HMR. Today we're going to make my favorite mini banana cream pies. And yes, we're going to make it out of the HMR supplement. And this should be something that you can consume even if you're on the VLCD, the very low calorie diet. To start off with, what we're going to do is we're going to use some egg whites. Now most of you probably have separated egg whites before from the egg. There's a couple different ways to do it. Once you crack the egg, you can do kind of a shuffle side to side into the shell. Not really easy, but it can be done. Or you can buy yourself an egg separator like this one here and kind of do that. Get the egg, nice gooey egg white out that we want. Come on, gooey egg white. And once we have the egg white out, set the yolk aside. We're not going to use the yolk. Now, for this particular recipe, I'm using three egg whites. And each egg white has approximately 15 calories. So far, my dish consists of 45 calories for this. Now I'm going to use 2 packages of the HMR vanilla. Now you have your choice. You can either use the 500 or the 70. So we're going to put both of those in there. Alright. And now we're going to go for 4 tablespoons of water. This whole recipe should make 12 of these mini banana cream pies. So there's 1, 2 and something, 3, and we'll call this one 4. Now mix it up. I like to use the electric mixer because it is a little as you can see when I do this, get that residue in the bowl. There's some residue there, so I'm going to take my spatula and scrape it down at least once, and then we're going to hit it one more time with the mixer. Be ready to bake this. So what we're making now is the crust. Once again, I'm going to discuss the ingredients. We have 3 egg whites in there at 15 calories apiece, 2 packages of 70 vanilla or 500 vanilla, either one, and 4 tablespoons of water. That's it. Finish mixing this up, get it nice and smooth. Alright, I think that'll serve our purpose just fine. Now, as you know, if you were to continue to beat this, you'd come up with like a meringue for a meringue pie. That's not really what I'm after, but a little fluffy is good. So now we've got to put it into our muffin pan. Now, I bought one of these Teflon ones, very flexible, and they've been really good for being non-stick. But even these absolutely require the spray. So, I'm going to hit it here. This says 0 calories. But I think that if you were to use a lot of this, you'd find you were adding calories. Now, you do have the option, you can use the papers. So I'll do half a piece of paper. And once again, it is absolutely imperative. All right, I'm spraying papers. Now it's ready to go. What I want to do is put exactly approximately 1 tablespoon into each cup. Right now we have approximately 250 calories in here because I have 2 packages of HMR at 100 calories apiece, and I have about 45 calories of egg white. So I've got 245 calories into this so far, and as you can see, I expect to get 12 of my mini banana cream pies out of this. And this is a pretty good treat. Once again, if you especially have been on the low-calorie diet like I have for a long time. I hinted before in my first video that it had been a while. Well, actually, I've been on the diet for off and on for several years now. But when I started this diet, I weighed 400 pounds. And this is the only diet that worked for me. And while I was on it, I was able to lose enough weight to be, average? Kind of average here. And I found a lot of cooking recipes because you don't get to be 400 pounds without really liking your food. And so therefore, I found some things I could do to augment or supplement the supplement. So I'm just going to finish cleaning out the bowl here. Top these off. Now I've got the oven preheated to 350 degrees, It varies how long it takes to cook it. I'm going to say we should go for about 25 minutes. We're going to try and get a golden brown out of this. Once they start getting a little golden brown, they'll raise. They puff way up almost like a biscuit. And when you take them out, they should cool off and sink back down. So while these are going to be in the oven cooking for about their, like I said, about 25 minutes, 20-25 minutes, we're going to work on the topping. I mixed up the crusts already for our mini banana cream pies, and they're in the oven going. So now what we need to do is we need to make our topping. I'm going to use the same bowl, and what I need is a cup of water. One package of supplement, again, it can be either the 70 or the 500. In this particular case, I'm using vanilla for this recipe. There are options to change the recipe, and I'll show them to you later on. So one package of 500, and what I have now is a full package of the Diet Jello banana, and we're going to dump that, put it in the bowl. And lastly, I'm going to put 4 packages of Splenda. If you have a total in this bowl now of 200 calories. So we've got 200 calories. We've got, to recap, we've got our HMR, we've got our Splenda, we've got our pudding, and we've got 1 cup of water. So now we're going to mix all this up. And I'm not going to use the electric mixer on this, and I'll tell you why. Because unlike traditional puddings, I want this to be thick. Even right from the very beginning, I want it to be pretty thick. And if I make it as thick as I like it, pretty much stick to the mixer. So we're going to try and get a nice thick pudding going. And once I get done getting this mixed up, we're going to put it in the refrigerator, and or maybe even the freezer. The option's up to you. And the idea is we want this to get set up pretty good during the 25 minutes while the crusts are cooking. And this will be our topping here. So as you can see, it's already thicker than a normal pudding is when you make it. It's still quite lumpy, but that's okay. I've made this recipe several times, and no matter how much I whip it, I still seem to get a few lumps in there. And they seem to be non-noticeable. There's no sign of these lumps once it all sets up and you mix it in. So don't be afraid of a few lumps when you're done. If you mix it forever just because you see some lumps, well, you'll never get the problem. Now, I'm not going to use all of this. It should not take nearly all of this to complete the 12. So what we have then is we have 200 for this, and I'll say 200 for the others, and so I'm not going to use all of it. So it works out to be 400 calories to get 12 of these mini muffins. So 3 of them equals 100 calories, or 1 supplemental serving. So you could, in theory, make these, eat them during the course of the day, and you can get out of here for about 400 calories, and you've gotten your 3 supplements in, give or take. And if you eat the leftover pudding, like I certainly intend to do, maybe so. There we are. We have our crusts for our mini banana cream pies. Should be properly hot. Now you can tell some of them have puffed way up, like this one kind of looks like a biscuit. Others like this one have flattened out already. Still somewhat like a biscuit though. So now what we need to do is we need to top these. And we've had our pudding topping, banana pudding topping chilling in the fridge. So we'll see how this works out. Again, we want a nice thick consistency, and this is pretty thick. So it's going to be kind of like frosting a cake. One thing I like is you notice these do kind of like concave in a little bit. So that gives you more of a bowl to hold the topping. And a little decoration maybe, a little swirl to it, and pronounce this one ready to eat. Get your little cupcake top going on, maybe a little swirl to it. And if you wanted to get a little more pudding out of this, you could add more water. I intentionally made this one really thick. You could put a little bit more water in this mix and get a little thinner run. But you got the idea how this is going. Now we've got taken most of our pudding mix and we put it into a cookie shooter. I have a star end on this one. And we give it a shot or 2, depending on what you want. And you get yourself a nice little kiss of pudding on there. This is how you would make Jeff's banana cream pies. Hope you enjoy this. Again, we're looking at approximately 3 of them to 100 calories. Now if you want to change this up a little bit, you can use the chocolate HMR supplement to make the crust. Gives you a chocolate crust, and then you can still go with the banana topping. Chocolate banana is not bad at all. Or you can go with chocolate, make chocolate pudding and put it on here using the chocolate pudding and the chocolate HMR. Again, I think you'll find both these really good and certainly a change from the everyday milkshake. Thank you for watching. Look for Jeff's soon-to-be 3rd video of just cooking with HMR.